Okay, I'm coming on with what I believe is Revelations of, and I'm going to read Revelation 17 and 18 with the revelations I was just given, which coincide with a lot of stuff that's going on right now. And I'm also trying to speak in code, and hopefully this video stays up, but we'll see what happens. You're more welcome to follow me in your own Bible. I'm reading from chapter 17 of Revelations, and I'm going to interject some things along the way. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me. So this is right after the seven vials and all this stuff. However, and it says, "Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." This is not, some may say that that the book of Revelation is in chronological order. It's not, because this says, what is the judgment coming out of the great whore that sitteth on many waters? And that is the the place where I'm coming from. It starts with a U, and there are many states. So, but this I believe is the Belon that's mentioned in Revelation. And it's like in the olden days, I think it's Nebuchadnezzar that was in Babylon. But let's keep going. "With whom the kings of earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names, blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a gold cup in her hand, full of abominations, filthiness of her fornication." So we saw a person decked out in purple, recently photographed, which had a string of pearls around her neck. I can't say her name. Hopefully you know who I'm referencing. But these people behind the scenes drink blood. They commit all kinds of abominations and atrocities behind the scenes. Jezebel is an evil, wicked spirit that is all about basically pleasing the flesh. They please the flesh in any way they can. They don't see any issue with whatever they do. And upon her name was written, "Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with blood of the saints," there you go, "and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration." So this spirit has been alive. If you look in the Bible, the Jezebel spirit has been alive, and it can inhabit more than one person, and has this spirit is a spirit, just like all these false gods that we have, like Zeus and like shoot, I can't think of any. But you know who I'm talking about, like Hera, Aphrodite, that type of thing. So she's just one of many spirits, and these spirits are basically demons in human form. "And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns." I'm not, well, yeah, it actually goes on to say what these mean. "The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell in the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is." So, it kind of indicates that these people already knew that they were not in the book. If it said, it kind of hints at whose names were not written in the book of life. In other words, these are already people that are know that they're on the wrong course. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. By the way, the W with D and a C sits on 7 hills. You can look this up. but it's because it says 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. So this person, you're not gonna like me about this, but this is what was revealed. Um, so this person will become the person in charge because this has to be fulfilled. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. So it says 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. So we know that someone recently had to step down, and I'm not going to mention any names. You already know, hopefully, who I'm talking about, that was in charge of said place. And when he cometh, he must cometh a short space, and that was someone who it appeared like he was just a mere he was just being used, put it that way. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7, goeth into perdition. Perdition, I think, is judgment or punishment. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdoms are yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. The beast, let's see, there is a certain guy who a lot of people bow to with a white hat, and he has people that work for him. But there are 10 kings waiting, and there was a certain meeting that was just accomplished this past week, with a whole bunch of high-powered entities, with some squinty-eyed people that are crimson, and a great big furry animal. Hopefully you know that I'm referring to. It has BEA at the beginning of it, but it has a R at the end. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome him. So this will happen later after this time, but I'm reading this because God has revealed, they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters that thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. If you don't know, our support people are all over the whole entire firmament or flat place that we live in, or you could say it's a spinning ball. But we are in many various places throughout the world, and that's why a lot of people don't like us. We are a big bully. The 10 horns which thou sawest saw the beast. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So this, I'm going to keep reading, but just remember about burn her with fire. For God hath put her hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdoms unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. We know who is reigning. And so the fire refers to giant. I don't know how to say this without saying it. We've had many prophets say about certain things that cause great devastation going off. And there's only been, 2 or 3 that have technically gone off. And they happened in one of the conflicts in a certain Far Eastern country. So yeah. But those will be used to make us desolate. And actually, if you look at the day of wrath, God will also use fire and other things to fulfill His will as well. And so now I'm on 18. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich with abundance of her delicacies. Where have most of the stuff that is being pushed on most of the world come from? So this is fulfilling that. We hear we have pushed a lot of how things should go. We've pushed our wares and other things on everyone else. And so that's what they're referring to. And I heard another voice coming from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people. This very thing has been said by many prophets right now, because they know what's about to befall this country. And it says, Come out of her, my people. And because in God's, in Joel and in Ezekiel and Jeremiah and Isaiah, it all says that God will collect his people and bring them to him. And the people that are left will try to hide in rocks and caves and underground be uckards. And ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. So in other words, there's going to be double punishment for what we have done here. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So for all that we have done and pushed and tried to run people over with, it's going to come doubly back on our heads. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So she's basically high and mighty and prideful and saying, oh, well, I don't, you can't dethrone me. You can't do anything to me. And God's basically bringing the hammer down. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord who judgeth her. The fire is yet again mentioned here, and it says in one day. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to not make it. And they're going to be burned and have a lot of bad things happening. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, from 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, and no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold, silver, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all that, blah, blah, blah. Mirror vessels, brass. This is all what we sold. There's groups right now pushing gold, silver, and other precious things. And I've heard it on several different prepper channels. Sorry, where this is being pushed. Sorry for the interruption, but someone is pushing me. and cinnamon odors. And so it goes on to list all the different things. Dainty and goodly and are departed from thee. Thou shalt find them no more at all. So after this happens, there aren't any more wares, there aren't any more merchants. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment and weeping and wailing. So no one will come back here because they fear that this will happen again, because there's going to be such great issues and things happening here that no one's going to, well, I mean, after a certain something hits, we're going to have a lot of things coming from them because they are very active radio wise, if you know what I mean. Put those two words together and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, and saying, what city is like unto the great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. No craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall he find any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. In other words, there's nothing that's going to happen ever again in her. If you are able to survive what is coming, you're going to be living very primitively, and you're going to be basically doing anything you can to survive what is left of here. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by their sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all who were slain upon her. So that is 17 and 18. And hopefully this video will stay up, but we'll see what happens. Moose, come on in. Come in, please. Sorry, I'm letting in the dog. But the revelation was given to me, and I tried to do this, and we'll see how long this video stands. But I'm just, by the way, YouTube and TikTok, I just read the Word of God, and that's all I can do. I'm reading from the Holy Bible, and so that's all I'm doing. And just intermixing what was revealed by Yeshua HaMashiach. So, yeah. And I pray over this video that people would be able to hear it, and this would be left up. Please go to God with this. Do not just accept my interpretation of it, but I believe that a certain woman will be the person in charge, and there's no real way of stopping it. And what happened 4 years ago was supposed to have happened, even though there are a lot of people fighting. There are many prophets that have said of old, but if you read 17 and 18 for yourself, you can see that I am right. So thank you for joining me. I wish you the best. Please go to God with this, and God bless you all.